Welcome to Class with Skeul, where Black American history, news, and real issues are taught with clarity, structure, and purpose. This is not surface-level content. This is a timeline, a record, a correction. Every episode is built to teach what was done, what was fought for, and what was taken. From revolts to wars, from policy to resistance, we break it down so it can be understood, remembered, and never rewritten. Because history that isn't taught clearly can be distorted, and history that is distorted can be used against the people it belongs to. Here, we focus on accuracy, on connection, on truth. Not just to inform, but to preserve. Not just to explain, but to expose. Because this isn't just about the past. It's about understanding the present and recognizing what continues. Each video is part of a larger structure, so nothing is isolated and nothing is forgotten. Stay focused, stay aware, stay connected. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Isaiah 58:1. Episode 6.5, Nat Turner's Revolt, 1831. Part 1, Vision and Decision. By 1831, the system of slavery in the United States had become deeply entrenched. Laws were tighter, control was stronger, surveillance was constant. But resistance had not disappeared. It had changed. In Southampton County, Virginia, a man named Nat Turner was preparing for action. Turner was not just another enslaved man navigating the system. He was different in how he thought, how he observed, and how he interpreted the world around him. He was literate. He studied, he paid attention, and he believed he had been chosen for a purpose. Turner described experiencing visions, signs that he interpreted as a call to act against the system of slavery. Whether seen as spiritual, psychological, or strategic, those visions shaped his decisions. But belief alone does not create action. Planning does. Turner did not move immediately. He waited, observed, prepared. He understood timing mattered. He understood that action without structure would fail. So he built quietly. He connected with a small group of trusted individuals, men who were willing to move, willing to act, willing to take the risk. By August 1831, the moment came. The group began their uprising at night. They moved from plantation to plantation, targeting slaveholding households. This was not a large marching force like earlier revolts. This was controlled, focused, deliberate. They gathered weapons as they moved. Their numbers grew, but not into the hundreds like Louisiana. That wasn't the strategy. The goal was impact, shock, disruption. And for a short period of time, they achieved it. Fear spread quickly across the region. The system that depended on control and predictability was suddenly unstable, because this revolt showed something different. Resistance did not need large numbers. It needed intent. If you've made it this far, you're not just watching. You're following Black American warrior history in its full timeline. On Class with Skeul, every episode connects, showing resistance, strategy, and power across generations. If you're tapped in, support the channel. Hit like so more people see this. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Turn on the notification bell so you're there when it drops. And share this with someone who needs the full story, not just pieces. This isn't random content. It's a structured history. Stay locked in. The next episode goes deeper. Part 2. Fear, Response, and Consequence. As the revolt continued, the response came fast. Local militias organized. Armed groups moved to stop the uprising before it could spread further. Turner and his group continued moving, but the window was closing. Within a short time, the revolt was suppressed. Many of the participants were killed during the confrontation. Others were captured. And like previous uprisings, the response went beyond stopping the revolt. It became a message. Executions were carried out, publicly, deliberately. Nat Turner himself avoided capture for weeks, moving through the area, staying hidden as the search continued. But he was eventually found, captured, and executed. the revolt was over. But its impact was immediate and far-reaching. Because this uprising created a different kind of fear. Not fear of large groups marching, but fear of individuals thinking, planning, acting from within. The response from southern states was swift. Laws were tightened even further. Education for Black people was restricted or completely banned. Movement was limited. Gatherings were controlled. Surveillance increased. The goal was clear: stop the possibility before it starts. Because Nat Turner's revolt proved something the system could not ignore. Resistance could come from anywhere. It did not need large numbers. It did not need open movement. It could develop quietly and strike directly. This changed the psychology of the system. Control became more aggressive, but so did awareness. Because while the system tightened, the underlying reality remained. The conditions that created resistance had not changed and would not change on their own. This moment pushed the country closer to a breaking point because the question was no longer just about controlling enslaved people. It was about whether the system itself could continue without constant conflict. By the time the 1830s moved forward into the 1840s and 1850s, that tension would spread beyond plantations, into politics, into territories, into the structure of the nation itself. Nat Turner's revolt did not start the Civil War, but it accelerated the path toward it, because it exposed something clearly. The system was not stable, and the people inside it were not controlled. They were watching, thinking, and when the moment came, acting.
If you made it to the end, stay tapped in. Like this video so it reaches more people. Subscribe to Class with Skeul for the full timeline. Turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Drop a comment. What stood out, what should be added, and what you want covered next.